first snow survey that maybe some of you saw, and there was a press release in your pass-around file. Overall, state of California had 32% of normal, so they got some snow there at the last little bit, but it's still very low. Floryville's at 65% of historical average. San Luis is at 50% of historical average. It's come up just a little bit. The forecast for the Feather River Basin is dry. The next 10 days don't have any water on the horizon. As I've mentioned before, we do have carryover from last year, and we have Little Rock that's available, Little Rock water that's available. And we estimate we've been working on what our situation is this year, working with our customers. Next special board meeting will be important because it looks like we're about 8,000, maybe about 8,600 acre feet short this year. We do have a plan on how to address that with a combination of pumping schemes, wells, and purchases, but it is going to be important to kind of make some decisions and get some equipment online because some of the equipment has kind of a long lead time. So we're working with our customers, getting commitments, getting rates worked on and so forth. So it will be important to address that shortfall. Here is the Northern California, the Northern Sierra precipitation. You can see we got a couple of bumps in these last couple storms. So right now we're sitting at the third driest year on record up there. So it definitely helped us out, but it did not get us out of the woods as far as water supply. This is kind of what got us into this predicament. Here's the calendar year for 2013, and you'll notice that all these years, it shows statewide right there on I guess that's the upper left, and you can see that 2013, the rainfall was 7.0. That's like about half of what we got even in 1976. So 2013 was extremely dry all over the state. In fact, it was kind of the record. And this is the calendar year. So we started out 2014 very, very low. This shows that Northern Sierra 8-station precipitation, and you can see for the water year that 2014 is down there with 1977 and 1924. Again, super dry. I mean, even though it's been a little wetter the last month or so, it just continues to just be a record breaker this year.
Before you go, can you back this? So the new dots going above those, is that what's supposed to be considered?
Those are all individual water years. And so that on the left-hand side, those are inches for Northern Sierra 8-station, that chart that I show you. Mm-hmm. So each one of those little squares is a year on record. And so you can see that 1924 was the lowest, 1977 was the next to lowest, and 2014 is right down there with quite a bit lower than the year.
An update on the park issues. United Street Park and the equipment that is there, the school district is, and I have been working together to remove that equipment from there and move it to the Rcsd for replacement in another location. They're going to replace that playground equipment and put in the new required standard ground cover, which is a rubberized material. And I've coordinated with the superintendent to get that removed by the time they need it removed. In regard to the skate park, currently at the same time we're going to move that equipment from the skate park. We'll also bring that to the Rcsd and store that until we get the other location identified and built. And basically what we're looking at now, and the Public Works Superintendent, Assistant General Manager John Houghton is now obtaining bids to get some work done to prepare the catch basin, the second one away from us here at the offices. We have a big catch basin here and one just on the other side of the fence. There's another one. We have plans on, and this has to come to the board also, but I wanted to get some numbers before I ever brought it to the board to consider placing it out there in that catch basin. catch basins in a lot of areas that I'm familiar with are real good locations for things such as this. Because in the winter times when it's raining and water flows are running, you don't have people out there using them anyway. And they generally will empty out rather quickly, and we can provide for that to pump the basin out to get it dry. So when it's good weather to use it again, it'll be easily cleaned up. So that's kind of a plan that we've got for that. The other equipment, possibly at Wilford Park at this time, but we have to take a look at the regulations. School districts have different regulations, and it may not pertain to the Rcsd, but it certainly does for schools. But we have to take a look at that and then determine whether or not we can install it at Wilford Park. We probably will install it there. But that's what's going to be going on here. We'll have that done prior to the end of June.
Is that the drop dead date the school's given us?
It's not so much a drop dead date. It's kind of, that's when I asked him, what's your timeline? He said if you could have it out of there by the end of June. That would facilitate the skate park area where they're trenching for the new district offices, and they're going to put in modules for right now in that location. And the park at United Street, they'll be doing that sometime after the June 30th during the summer.
So they have funding for their projects?
I didn't ask him if he had funding.
Delegation from Kern County superintendents. We have 48 districts, including the junior college. We have basically 48 superintendents plus 2 chancellors. I was invited to be one of 6 to go to Sacramento and talk to assembly members and Senate members about issues that are near and dear to Kern County. Some of the people that we talked to was Rick Simpson, Policy Director of the Office of Assembly Speaker, Nick Schweitzer, Policy Director for the Department of Finance, Assemblymember Rudy Salas, Assemblymember Joe Buchanan, Senate and Assembly Member caucuses from Roger McKenzie, Cheryl Black, Robert Becker, Jennifer Louie. That was just my first day. So we talked about 3 main topics. One is the LCFF plan, making sure that there's continued funding, and also making sure that we talk about our transportation costs. One of the things that is very near and dear to all of Kern County superintendents is our need to fully fund transportation. If you are not aware, transportation, funding for transportation stopped in 1977. Whatever we got paid in 1977 was stopped until 1997. They gave us a one-time raise in 1997, and we have not had an increase since. There are districts that actually are getting paid 12% of what they spend on transportation. We are at 36%. So 36% were reimbursed from the state. The other part, we have to come out of our general fund. So that was another main topic, and also to pay down our deferrals. So currently there are a lot of deferrals going on, which means that although we are teaching the children in this year, we don't get paid for those children until next year, which sometimes impacts our ability to buy equipment, do certain programs. And right now we've asked them, with the excess money that is coming in for taxes, to please get rid of all deferrals and catch us back up, so we're not actually borrowing funds to kind of keep things going. It was very interesting, and I hope to never have to do it again. So, that's it.